Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the incredible city of Riyadh for the 2024 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. My name is Mark Lewis. This is the GCTV live studio, and this is the King Abdullah Financial District in Saudi Arabia. And this is the halfway point of today's Super Grand Prix. I don't know whether or not there will be many who will be surprised with the news that Victor Bettendorf leads at the halfway point. He will be last to go in round 2 of tonight's Super Grand Prix. A performance from the man from Luxembourg, last to go at the end of round 1, and he will now be last to go at the end of round 2. Max Kuna, season winner, the 2024 LGCT Overall Season Championship winner, is in second place and will be second last to go. Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann doing well. Gilles Thomas and Hermitage Calon will be the fourth last to go. Some of the big names that we have spoken about have come to deliver the goods. A closer look, faster than them all, taking a full second off the time of Max Kuna. Victor Bettendorf now leads. And as we said, Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann and Messi van het Rautershof first out the gate in round 1. Delivers a clear inside 78 seconds and now finds herself in a very, very strong position. Michael Duffy, with time penalties, finds himself somewhat in no man's land between the clears and then wedging himself in between those on 4, like Renzo De Luca, Peter de Vos and Abdel Said. I'm afraid on the following page, you'll see some rather surprising names. Everyone was wondering what was going to happen with Rockefeller and Eduardo Alvarez Alsna. He has a fence down. Nicola Philippans has 2 fences down. Christian Kukuk, after a golden summer, had a spook at a fence, recovered well, but still took 2 fences down to find himself on 8 penalties. And Inez Jolie, with 10 penalties, will be the first to go in the second round of the LGCT Super Grand Prix. Speaking of Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, she will be very late to go in that second round. We caught up with her to get some thoughts on that performance and how she was able to deliver that round with Messi.
Jana, you were first in tonight. A really tough job to go in there first, but what a wonderful clear.
Thank you very much. I was also, when I saw I'm first to go, I was like, my first moment was like, no. And then my second moment was like, okay, but you just do your plan. You know your horse. I know him so well. So usually when I walk the course, I have a first idea how I would like to do it. But then, of course, not always everything goes right. But yeah, I was super happy how he jumped. He got quite careful under the lights. I think he really could feel that there's a special thing here tonight. But he gave us everything, and yeah, I'm just proud and happy.
He was phenomenal. He had to reach for quite a few. He's got so much scope, particularly over that last. I don't know if you've had a minute to look at the replay of that, but it's incredible.
Yeah, I could see that coming a little bit because we took our time for the plank before, and then it was towards the entrance, and then easily you have a second where the horse also thinks, okay, now we got it. But then there's this one more ox, and it's wide, it's huge. And then I started to push a bit, and he was like, oh shit, we have to fly. And yeah, but he flew.
He did fly. Well, that is round 1 done. A clear in the bag. We'll let you go and refocus for round 2. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Can you see the energy? Can you see the excitement on the face of Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann and Messi van het Rautershof delivering that clear, doing it very early as well, and describing this LGCT Super Grand Prix as something special. She will be in a very good position come the second round of tonight's Grand Prix. Gilles Thomas, Frederic de Backer and I spoke a lot about him earlier on tonight. We spoke about the incredible nature of Hermitage Calon. Let's show you what the Belgian then was able to do today a little bit earlier on in the first round of tonight's Super Grand Prix. Everyone was keeping a very close eye on him, making sure that he lives up to the hype, lives up to the expectation. Well, Hermitage Calon doing exactly that. Still just 10 years of age is the chestnut. And Gilles Thomas, if you are looking for a classier rider, if you are looking for a smoother young rider, this shows you textbook how to get around this track, how to conquer, how to make it look smooth. And Gilles Thomas and Hermitage Cologne go on to deliver a very, very impressive clear that now sees him amongst that group of clears in that second round. They will be quite late to go. Disappointment, I think, for Christian Kuckuck, the man who had a golden summer, the man who took Max Kuhner all the way down to the wire in the LGCT overall season fight. Did not have things go his way today, the German, but there must be credit given to him, because when there was the spook, when there was the error from Just Be Gentle, the spook from Just Be Gentle, the correction, the strength shown by Christian Kuckuck to get back on track was simply immense. Let's hear from the German and get his thoughts as to what took place.
Christian, just try and describe to us what happened in there.
Yeah, to be honest, I could now be very disappointed and feeling like it's the end of the world, because for sure I had big expectations for tonight. But to be honest, I'm absolutely not angry with my horse. She just got very scared for 1 second there on that line straight to the short side on the other side, and there's this huge camera angle. And she was already on the first day a little bit spooky there, but when I started today, actually she felt quite okay. And also the whole course felt amazing. So there's no reason for me to be disappointed if we talk about that she wasn't in shape or something like that. She just got very green. She's only 10 years old. She has not so much experience under the flat lie especially. So I'm not angry with her at all. And you could see she jumped it actually. We managed to jump it somehow. That shows her character actually in the end. She really wants to do the job. She just got scared and shy for a second and hesitated. But I'm more angry with myself. I should have rode her another class here maybe. I only did one class 2 days ago, and that was now in the end not enough. I should have jumped her another time. That might have helped us today, but so that's my explanation for it. I'm absolutely not super disappointed, especially not with the horse, with myself and the management a little bit, but today this is not the end of the world. It was kind of a training round now in the end, because she finished very well then also in the end. She was a little forward in the triple, but after that the last fences felt very good. So it was a nice training round to the completely wrong side or time. It was a bad timing for a training class. I wanted to say it that way, but that's how it is in our sport. They are not robots, we are not robots. So tomorrow is another day, but also today there's a second round. I hope she learned something from the first round, and if everything is okay in a second round, I'm not disappointed today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The thoughts of Christian Kuckuck and Just Be Gentle after that spook, that run out, and how it was corrected by the Germans. Simply phenomenal. Frederik de Backer. Frederik de Backer. Wow. Yeah. And this is just round one, my friend. This is just the opening round. And when we were chatting off air now, what should we chat about? Do we go into the group of double clears? Do we talk about maybe the fences falling for some of the big names like Christian Kuckuck, for Rocky and Asnar? Do we talk about Victor Betanov? Do we talk about Max Kuhner?
Do we talk about riding mistakes?
Do we talk about riding mistakes? Do we talk about Messi van der Rotershoff? Shall we just go 1 to 15 and just recap this? Because what a round to get us into the position to now go into round 2 of the Super Grand Prix.
Shall we start with Quirex and Michael Duffy?
Oh,
my goodness me. How good was that?
Unbelievable, right?
2,252 days of not jumping a 5-star Grand Prix.
And then comes in and does that.
5 years in the field without a saddle on.
And only has time penalties.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're also surprised, because at that time you and I also were trying to keep an eye on the clock. But this is just one of the many storylines that make this, as it stands already now, a phenomenal halfway point of how the Super Grand Prix shapes up.
Foxide Larocque has jumped 5 classes and won 4. If you have to pick yours out of the 5 that have jumped, 4 that have jumped clear, you cannot go anywhere else than with Foxy, right?
And isn't it interesting how this proves how, for that reason alone, in the build-up to this week, people were talking about Victor, the name was floating around, but when you have Christian Kuckuck and you have, I was going to say Lionel Messi, when you have Messi van der Rotershoff and Jana, when you have Max Kuhner, when you have these Rockies and Asnars, somehow we thought, for some reason, just let's not talk about Victor just yet. And then he comes out last in round 1
and how
delivers the clear that he does. It was cool, it was calm, it was quick. And now he's last to go in the second round.
Such modern riding, so light that we know how competitive he is. We know how much the horses want to do it for him. I mean, this is now the favorite by a mile. I don't want to be in the shoes of those other clears to put pressure on him, because with pressure, rails falls at meter 65, and you have to put him under pressure. I mean, you cannot give it to him on a platter, can you?
Based on how he has jumped here tonight, and based on how what we've seen from Gilles Thomas, from Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, from Max Kuhner, earlier on tonight we suggested that sometimes winning on a 4 is still possible because of how tough the playoffs are. Maybe there was more ring-related with Prague and small, intimate fences coming quick. From how these 4 have looked, I don't think that there is faults allowed here for the winner to try and get on top of the podium, surely.
Let's be clear, double clear will put you on the podium. That's already something that we could say. Yep. Double clear gets you on the podium. Never was the Super Grand Prix won by a combination that finished on 4 penalties from the first rounds. There's a whole group of those on 4 penalties, but I think that we have to look at those leading 4 to crown our winner. Maybe something happens so that a fast rider on 4 penalties, because the penalties from round 1 get carried into round 2. The time in round 2 will be decisive, so it's not impossible that a 4 and a clear get you onto the podium. That's not impossible, but double clear will determine the winner.
And let's also remind us what the history now says about Victor Bettendorf leading in round 1. What do the numbers and what does the history tell us about a leader in round 1?
The first 3 years, so that's 18, 19 and 2021, the Grand Prix, Super Grand Prix was always won by the leader of round 1. That was Tops Alexander, that was, help me here, that was Ben Meyer, and that was Hendrik van Eckermann.
Van Eckermann, yes, Daniel Deusser
then,
later. The
years after, the Deusser win was not coming off of the lead. Deusser was not the round 1 leader. That was Skau, if I have it right. Last year, it was the Vos who was the round 1 leader, and then Epajar had the win. So I don't know what to say about that at the moment, but yeah, round 1 leader, you can't call it. You can't call it. I don't want to call it.
Anyone is looking also as smooth as how good Hermitage Cologne looked there, and Gilles Thomas as well. We talk about smoothness, and we can talk about Victor Bettendorf, who was outstanding, but I've said it before, the way Gilles Thomas jumps beyond his years, and I don't want to put a number to him because he's so beyond whatever the 26 years of life are, but he looks like Frederick has been jumping classes like this for 15 years.
It was, you know, this first round was about perfection. It was about perfection in the preparation. That's what Koekkoek said. Should have jumped 1 more round to get it relaxed. It's about the preparation. Then it is about your plan and execution. We've seen a few mistakes in execution. Then we have seen a few light rubs and just not the perfect form on the day. But the 4 clears were 4 perfectly ridden rounds, and I have to go through the list. Was there somewhere a round that was not clear, that maybe deserved to be clear, that not had the hesitation? De Luca had a bit that agitation already coming in. I'm just going through it. Edu Asnar, you could say, oh, but that's a pity, but also the look. So when the horse was on point, when the rider was on point, you had the clears. But when it was 1% off with either one of the 2 athletes, you had the rails. Yeah. It had to be perfect, and I really like that, because that's what this Super Grand Prix is about. And it's not about selling the Super Grand Prix, but if you think about it from a neutral perspective, it was about producing perfection.
And perfection was required. We do have a short comment from Eduardo Alvarez Asnar for those looking for the fairy tale story from Rockefeller at 19 years of age to be crowned as Super Grand Prix champion. For now, as it stands, it looks like that may be a stretch, by the way, on who's jumping ahead of him clear. Let's hear from the Spaniard.
Rockefeller was brilliant as always. Just tell me what happened at the wall there, a horse that's seen that sort of fence so many times in his life.
Well, he was a bit surprised when I came into the ring. He saw and he was a little bit spooky over there. Then I did another turn just to show him. And then actually he didn't spook till the last minute, that he felt a little bit, looking a bit down in the takeoff. And I think that's why he had the wrap there. But for the rest, I'm very happy. He jumped good and he really tried. It's a tough track and big jumps. And okay, happy with the result. Let's see how we finish the first round, and then keep trying for the second one.
Good luck for the second round. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Incredible, incredible season for Rockefeller, but is it one step too far then to make it the fairy tale finish in the Super Grand Prix? It does just give the impression that, as Fredrik pointed out, winning it on a 4 in the first round doesn't seem likely. History tells us that more than half the time in the history of the Super Grand Prix, the round 1 leader has gone on to get over the line. Shall we play some comparison games?
Okay.
I know you like a comparison game. We also need to talk about how Max Kuhne looked very smooth, by the way. Let's take nothing away from the 2024 LGCT season champion, because he also has a point to prove. He also wants to do the double like Ben Mayer did, only man to ever have done so. Max Kuhne, take nothing away from those around him, looked very, very smooth today, Fredrik. He looked untroubled. It looked like he had plenty of time on the fences. He did not seem to put a foot wrong either, did he?
Comparison is the thief of happiness, but who do you want to compare him to, Max Kuhne?
If we're talking about Bittendorf being very, very smooth,
okay.
Max looked very, very smooth as well. If you want to talk about Gilles Thomas looking smooth, Max looked smooth too. Untroubled, lots of calmness.
Let's compare him to the 4 that have jumped clear. Janne Meyer is a winner. A real winner. Janne Meyer is determined. She wants to switch off when she sees that last fence and just go for it. She's really a winner in any type of form or situation. Gilles Thomas has that as well, but we've never ever seen Hermitage Cologne get pushed against the clock. We know he's got stride, but has he got the knock on the wood, the knock on the floor, the extra energy to really...
That X factor.
Yeah. Max Kuhne is also not a serial winner. I mean, as an example, let's take the Monte Carlo Grand Prix. Should have won that Grand Prix, but didn't. He's a winner, but not a serial winner. He's not super competitive. And then you come to Bettendorf, who in the shouldering classes, the other classes that were held here, with Cancun Torel, he was top 3, I think, 3 times. So I just want to draw there the perspective of who has got that competitive nature in horse or rider or in experience. And then again, you're looking at Messi, but mainly at Victor Bettendorf. So I wonder if Max Kuhne is ready to step out of that comfort zone
and be a little
really
aggressive with it. Be a little aggressive.
Because it was beautiful. It was so light. It was so easy. But is he now ready to take that last step? I don't know.
All right, well, a second round of a Super Grand Prix comes your way very, very shortly. It is so difficult, even if we just focus on the group of clears alone, to try and find out, to try and identify which of these fantastic riders, which of these incredible horses, as Fredrik points out, is not just going to be able to conquer the course, but really be able to grudge out that win and do what's necessary to get over the line and be crowned champion later on tonight. We take a quick break. We remind you as to how these phenomenal riders have reached this point at the end of the 2024 season. And we'll see you back here live in the GCTV studio for round 2 of the 2024 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Longines Global Champions Tour season of 2024. The best horses and riders in the world embark on a journey, on a championship across 15 incredible stages around the globe. Every Grand Prix winner will get the coveted golden ticket for the most spectacular show of all, the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at the GC Playoffs this year for the first time in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. Who will it be? Who will claim their golden ticket? The first golden ticket is up for grabs right here in Doha, Qatar. The next Belgian comes in. He is already a podium finisher years ago, but now another chance at victory and glory. Abdel Said, 1.1 seconds, and leads this Grand Prix in Doha.
In Doha, we had 10 in the jump off, and yeah, of course, you know, the ones, if you had 10 that jump clear rounds, it means that 10 people could usually win it. But I just focused on myself. I used her stride, I used Bonnie's stride. It's a big ring, and there was a turn, a rollback, not a rollback, but there was a turn into the double. Kind of a rollback, and I did one less. I knew there I could really use her stride, and I did, and I think that's where we managed to win it, I think.
And Abdel Said has just won his first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Hello and welcome to Miami Beach. Clear will be enough for the lead. Last fence coming up. Clapton Mush and Michael Duffy have jumped double clear. What a performance. I'll take a bow to that, Michael Duffy.
It's been a while coming now. It's about bloody time. It's amazing. Like, I'm a bit lost for words, you know. Like, I want to thank everyone. Like, there's also one person when I won my first 5-star Grand Prix, I want to dedicate it to Trish and David Dodd, who are the parents of my friend at home that have passed away.
Bienvenido a Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mexico City.
It's a big advantage if you can go in the end of a jump-off, so I was lucky to go quite in the end. My mare is quite quick natural-wise, so I tried to go a little bit forward, but for sure not to take too many risks and keep it clear.
But nobody has gone clear. Does he have to do the same as Duffy? Ride smart. Nicolas Philippard with a different horse, with Luna, is shooting for the moon, and he's got it. He's on the moon. He's on cloud 9. He's double clear. He's in the lead and he's on the podium.
Unbelievable win for H&M Luna. She really deserved to win, and for sure Mexico is one of my favorite shows of the year, and if you can win the Grand Prix there, it's fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Longines Global Champions Tour in Shanghai. The first to go clear, the first to go, Gilles Thomas. What a trailblazer that is on Luna van het Dennenhof.
Number 1 for me on the start list was not really a big problem in the first round, but more for the second round for the jump off, because then you don't know how fast you need to ride to win.
The Belgian has set the yardstick in the Shanghai Grand Prix. Clear with Luna van het Dennenhof, 42.56.
If you start watching the others and they are making faults, and also there were a few ones that were quicker, but not that much quicker than me. So then I knew I had a good jump off and maybe it's possible.
Is the under-25 rider going to win his first Grand Prix? It seems so, because this pace is not Luna's pace, and Gilles Thomas has won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen. We do not doubt that it is the first of many for the talented Belgian.
After Shanghai, I'm in the Super Grand Prix, so that little dream that come true.
I was quite optimistic and positive, and I tried everything. I was very quick when I came out.
Christian Koekkoek with checker. And now into the final line for his third Grand Prix win potentially. There is Koekkoek, 45.85. That is 9 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Difference between Checker and Koekkoek, and this will be tough to beat because he left nothing on the grass.
I knew it will be tough to beat. Someone has to try everything.
Wow, goosebumps. What an atmosphere in this stadium. This is unbelievable. Roquefort de Pleville van Margot. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar. Can he finally do it? Come on, Edu. Come on. Oh no! Can you believe that? On the Oxer of Madrid. Heartbreak. Absolute heartbreak.
They tried. Luckily, they did not make it, and I was the happy one. It was kind of a dream for me because it's such a charming, traditional, special arena. The crowd is incredible, and every year I'm really excited to go there. And I always told myself, wow, that would be really cool to be the winner of that Grand Prix here once.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ramatuelle, Saint-Tropez, and the Longines Athena Onassis Horse Show.
I think this year it was especially the way the course designer built the fences. When I walked the course, it felt like something else. We had some technical difficulties we haven't had before. It was something new.
The starting order, very easy. We only have 4. Max Kuhnen, Julien Hepaillard, Eduardo Aznar, and Simon de Leftre.
Yeah, you must not play around. You have to take the risk if you want to win with these guys in the jump-off.
Oh, really daring at the Oxer, up the hill. Here comes the rollback and the final line for Kuhnen. Really risking it at the Longines upright as the stride in the end slows down drastically for that final fence. It's double clear for Max Kuhnen.
A lot of confidence in my horse, ESC, up to Chaco Blue. He's one of the fastest horses in the world.
It's Kuhnen or de Leftre. The margins are small, but the Leicester can make up if he doesn't check, if he can go all in and flat out, he can win finally here in Ramatuel Saint-Tropez, but it's not going to be the case, and he is third, no, second. He is second. Max Kühner has won his second Grand Prix.
Max Verstappen, F1 world champion, watching Max Kühner win here.
I'm a big fan of him.
That for you must be a special feeling.
Hello, hello, what a beautiful day it is. Welcome to the Stade Esperide in Cannes. Janne Frederike Meijer-Zimmermann. She's got 2 podiums under her belt, but never the top step. She is 0.07 behind, and that's not much.
I can remember the feeling I had going to the second last fence, and I saw a good early distance, and I took it, and then there was still the last fence, and it was far away.
Use that stride of Messi. Push him, and push him, because there's only one fence. Keep going. Just keep going, Janne. Keep going. It's coming. It's right there. Push him.
And I just heard my husband screaming, and I just went for it.
It's coming. It's right there. Push him. And there it is. And it is Janne Frederike Meijer-Zimmermann who has taken the lead in Cannes in what is an exceptional final 2 lines. She just pushed him. Goodness me.
It's about money, but it's also about being proud of a good placement.
Margins are shrinking. 39.55. It's going to be Janne Meijer. Janne Meijer has won her first Grand Prix. What an exceptional performance of this lady. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paris for the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Young 28-year-old Johann Sebastian Gulliksen in what is his first ever jump off on the Longines Global Champions Tour circuit. He's heading for home. He's on 4 penalties, but he's got his hand on the golden ticket. There he comes, and the finish for the Norwegian. For the golden ticket in Riyadh, and he's home. There is Johann Sebastian Gulliksen across the finish line.
Stockholm, I mean, we all love Stockholm as a horse show. I mean, it's part of our sponsors from H&M. I mean, it's a great event. So for sure, we were all really looking forward to this competition.
Olivier Philippart with H&M Miro, fighting for their first ever win on the tour.
I've been waiting a couple of years, but then I've had quite a few podium finishes, probably 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know actually, but I find I was just desperate to win one, you know. I think Jerome was the first clear, and then it was normal fast, but I knew there were a couple of fast behind me. So I said, you know what, I don't care what happens, I just want to try to get that win.
He's lost some pace, some field on Jérôme Guéry.
It's a difficult line of going too fast, having one down, or jumping clear and be too slow. So that was a very hard line, to be too hungry to win or just to be too slow. That was a fine line.
Is it going to be Guéry or Philippart? Philippart for potentially his first ever win on the Longines Global Champions Tour. The time stops and it's better. 1.17 in front of Jérôme Guéry.
And then finally to get there is like 1,000 kilos fell off my shoulders, and it meant a lot to me, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special night in Monte Carlo, Monaco. Welcome to the Grand Prix that is worth 1.5 million euro. Start list, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there's not much I can tell you, can I? Ines Joly and Max Kühner, only 2 in the jump-off.
Well, it was unbelievable, because at the middle of the class, I was like, okay, all the best riders are coming now, so we're gonna end up 6, 8. And when I saw we were just 2, and with Max, I was not believing.
If she jumps a clear, she's putting pressure on Kühner, no matter how fast or slow she would be.
Really luck on my side, because it was the first time I would make a jump off this level. And before entering to the ring, it was like, let's focus, we have this plan, go for it, and don't let it pass. Take the opportunity. Keep it up, breathe.
Last fence coming up, Ines Joly, full double clear in Monte Carlo, Monaco. It's bingo in any case. There's the ambassador. There's Ines Joly. It's 42.32. Now come get it, Max Kühner. You know what it means if a rail would fall, but it's not going to fall. Here comes Kühner on his favorite hunting ground. No, it's gone. It's the win for Ines Joly.
And paid off.
Yeah, in Riesenbeck, I remembered that I might have had the best show of my life. Like, no, for me, what happened there was unreal and very unexpected. I made my plan. I think I know when I went in, Marcus was clear anyway already, so I just had to give it a try.
First, before Hinners, is Thibaut Spitz. Spitz with the huge striding impress van het Kattenheijen. Can they find the balance between Eining and Said?
And then I think there, the big grass field was a big advantage for me, that I really could use a stride there. It was a bit like it was meant to be.
Potentially your first podium on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Or could it be better? Could it be more than a podium? Could it be a win for Thibaut Spitz? He's clear, he's on the podium, and he can start dreaming with only one to go. 100th in front, has to wait here. Spitz was faster in this part, no doubt, and the rail is gone. And Thibaut Spitz has won his first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. Fantastic and phenomenal.
For many of the under-25 riders, the Global Champions Tour gives a huge opportunity to step up, and that's something I'm very grateful for.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to London for the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. There's the Vos, and there's his 17-year-old mare, Toupie de la Roque. There comes the Vos, there comes Toupie down the final line. 39.78 from Kaltim is to beat, and they are faster. The Vos leads in London, and is London going to hand him once again a golden ticket to the Super Grand Prix? It sure looks like it. This truly is happy hunting ground for the Belgian. Stage 13 of the Longines Global Champions Tour is upon us, so welcome to Valkenswaard. Is it going to be win number 7 for Smolders, or is De Luca going to steal this away from him? The blink of an eye between the two of them. De Luca for his second win, he doesn't add the stride, he gets there and he's quicker. He's quicker, Lorenzo De Luca has done it.
It means a lot, like a lot. And thanks to all my team, the owner of the horse. And we made this Grand Prix victory very special because the horse deserves so much. He's jumping so good and he deserves to be on the top.
Afternoons in world sport do not come bigger than this one, ladies and gentlemen. The warmest of welcomes to Rome. Penultimate leg of the entire Longines Global Champions Tour season. Christian Koekkoek is looking to take away Max Kuhne's crown in these last two legs. Christian Koekkoek with 2 fences to go, turns over the penultimate. She has it down, sadly. Victor Behlendorf, we welcome, is preciously young. This man is lightning, charging here, and he's up on the time. And Victor Behlendorf is going to win his first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix right here, right now. That is brilliant.
I cannot talk too much because it's a mare I really love. I ride her since she's 6, she's homebred, so it's I can't even realize. It's just a dream come true to compete against all these guys. I will need to sleep a few days to realize that thing.
This is the final Grand Prix of the Longines Global Champions Tour. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Morocco. Welcome to Africa. Welcome to Rabat. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, Rockefeller de Pléville, Margot. The horse with that vast, flat, open stride. Come on, Rocky. Take it home, Rocky. There he comes. Last fence, Edu Aznar. And Rockefeller de Pléville.
With a horse that I grew up in the top sport, in the championships, it's already been 11 years with me. The age is just the number he has in the passport.
Much faster. They're clear, they've done it. For the first time in his career, has won a 5-star Grand Prix. How long did he have to wait?
Well, imagine how can I feel. It's a fantastic feeling winning, and especially winning in the final of the Tour, and with Rockefeller even makes it more special.
The Super Grand Prix is an incredible Grand Prix with one of the biggest prize money pots from the whole year.
The best out of the best against each other, winning that class, the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Butterflies, because it's gonna be impressive, I think.
I mean, that competition and that playoffs, it's all very hard. I think it's very hard to say who will win.
Yeah, it would be something special. That's also why I bring my best horses for that event, and yeah, would be something special.
Welcome back to GCTV. Welcome back to the build-up to the second round of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. We are currently in the city of Riyadh. This is the very first time that we conduct the playoffs here in Saudi Arabia, and we are halfway through tonight's Super Grand Prix in the King Abdullah Financial District in Saudi. And what a opening round this has been. We spoke to Fredrik de Backer a little bit earlier on to get some thoughts, to get some reaction. That leading group of clears that includes Gilles Thomas, that includes Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, that includes championship winner Max Kuhne, but perhaps most importantly includes what many people believe to be the dark horse coming in. It includes Victor Bettendorf, who has looked absolutely sensational. He has looked untroubled. He has looked calm. He has looked so confident in that first round that I think it has made everybody stand up and start to pay notice to the man from Luxembourg, who, after winning the LGCT in Rome, now comes to Saudi and looks to try and go on and win the big prize at the end of the night. I remind you that at the start of the playoffs, we announced that there is over 11 million euros up for grabs throughout the entire week. Huge prize money for the best riders in the world here in Riyadh, competing for those top prizes. This is the start list for the second round of the Super Grand Prix. This is how the riders are going to be coming out in a few moments' time as we get ready for that second round. And there's Jolie, the winner in Monaco, will be the first to go. Christian Kuckuck, after a golden summer, had a run out with Just Be Gentle, and because of that saw 2 fences go down, pick up 8 penalties, and unfortunately will be quite early to go, as will Nicola Philipparts and Johann Sebastian Gulliksen. Thibaut Spitz and the very, very impressive Impress K will then be 5th to go. And Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, on 19-year-old Rockfeller, who people were hoping for the fairy tale story, had a fence down that will see him then go in 7th place. It is the second page, though, that becomes the truly crucial page, because Peter Voss and his young 9-year-old Casual will be 9th to go. But those bottom 4 take nothing away as well, by the way, of Michael Duffy, who had no fences down but did pick up 2 time penalties, find himself somewhat in no man's land, locked between those on clear and on 4. Gilles Thomas, Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, Max Kuhne and Victor Bettendorf. On Foxy de la Roque are the teams, or are the riders to look out for tonight going into that second round. We'll get some more reaction from Fredrik de Backer in a few moments. For now, let's go to Rosie Turner inside the ring. Rosie, course walk is officially underway. We'll get Fredrik in there to start counting some strides and give us some feedback on some of those fences. But you are quite literally in the middle of all of those riders. I wonder and hope that there have been some comments that have been said in and around you. What have you picked up? How is it feeling inside there at the moment?
Yeah, well, absolutely, Mark. And as you said, Fredrik will be down here counting strides, and I think we will need to do that. This is going to be a really difficult test for these partnerships here tonight. And actually, a lot of the riders are so focused, as you can imagine, a lot on stake here tonight. So we're just letting them walk the course quietly. I've spoken to a few of them who've said it's really difficult. It's really technical. It's as you would expect a Super Grand Prix to be. The other thing we need to add is that this second round is not just about jumping clear. Of course, you've got to leave those fences up, but as some of the riders have said to me, it's about time as well. You have to stay inside the time. I heard you mentioning Victor, who just seems to not be able to lose at the moment. Jana obviously having a bit of a difference. She had to go first in round 1. She now gets to go 3rd last in this one, so she has a little bit of an advantage there, but a lot of them looking incredibly tense. I have to say, the atmosphere down here is electric, but I'm making sure that I'm staying a little bit quiet to make sure that they can focus. But like I said, I've spoken to a few. It's difficult, it's big, it needs jumping. It's what a Super Grand Prix should be.
Rosie, let's talk about the comments from Christian Kuckuck a little bit earlier on. I know you spoke to him after his round, and here is a man that many people had high hopes for, or were expecting the Olympic champion to go on and put together a really strong performance. And despite having 8 penalties and having that run out, it was superbly well handled. Talk to us about those comments made by Christian Kuckuck, because despite the faults, he still seemed to be very, very impressed and happy with Just Be Gentle.
Yeah, and quite rightly as well, I think. You know, she's still a young horse, and he said she's still pretty green at this level. We see her quite often. We think that she's the most amazing horse, which she is, but she is still a little bit green. Just spooked on landing. One of the mascots here ready to join in with us as well. I'll let you get on your way and get going. But he just spooked slightly on landing, which didn't really give Christian much of a chance. There was no stride to get out of that. But the way that she recovered to still finish that line, and the way Kukuk picked up and thought, let's go, just shows that between the two of them, that partnership is so strong. And they really do have that strong partnership to be able to pick themselves up and continue with that line, because I think for a moment we all thought it's all over for them. She is a brave, brave horse with a brave jockey on board as well. So I think quite rightly, you know, he's disappointed, but he's also incredibly, incredibly pleased, and said to me actually that he then used it as a training round. Not the right time to use it as a training round, obviously, going into a Super Grand Prix, but she's still young. She's got so much more to come, and Kukuk's had a fantastic year as well. So heartbreaking, but wow, what a partnership to come.
Yeah, you make a great point. Still only just 10 years of age, just be gentle. Rosie Turner, thank you very much for your time. We'll let you continue on your way there. We'll try and bring Frederick into the show in a few moments' time. As Rosie said, this course needs to be walked. This course needs to be broken down for us. And that is where and how Frederick de Backer plays such a crucial role in this show, becomes such a crucial component of being able to help explain to us from a technical perspective how things maybe have changed from round one into round two. In particular, there was a fence that we spoke about where there was going to be 7 or there was going to be 8. A few riders bravely took 7, and some riders who took the 7 had that fence go down. So there have been some decisions that have gone one way or another between some of the riders. What then are some of those decisions going to be now for the second round that has been built for the upcoming Super Grand Prix? Frederick de Backer, let's come back to you. Let's talk about now this round that has been built, this ring that has been built for the second round. I'm not sure what else to say, my friend. I'll hand it over to you because I expect this to be big. I expect it to be challenging. Let's talk about how and where those challenges lie.
I agree, Mark. It is bigger. The 7 or 8 question is not so much a question in this course. First course was slightly more holding, if you remember, but there were options on the outside lines. You've got a very big ox already at 2, not maybe in size, but with those very annoying rails underneath. There's a huge vertical at 3. That was the last fence in the first round that is now converted into an upright. That's meter 65, and I think that if you would put a measure stick to it, we might just creep up a little bit higher. It's a quite 7 into the combination. And remember, Mark, we've spoken about this before. Super Grand Prix are not necessarily won on time. It's often somebody who stands alone on double clear or on 4 and they rest on higher scores. But if it would come down to time, Mark, this is a very interesting segment. You jump this double combination, that is number 4. And then there's an option. Do you go behind that global champions fence or do you go in front? We'll just go in front for the sake of it. That means that you have to land, get your one stride straight because it's a tall vertical out, maybe come in front, but how much will you win with that? I don't know. Does it then make sense to come in between here? I do think so. Don't go around that Longines piece. Stay in front if you want to be competitive. And then here you have got fence 5 and 5. That is a very square oxer. And then you have that issue with the pace, and if you have that pace, then the next line is difficult.
All right, we seem to have lost that feed from Frederick de Backer. Let's see if we can try get him back, because I do want to try get back, please. We do need to get more information from Frederick, so let's see if we can just test that line and get him back in. Frederick, rewind, back it up ever so slightly. I want you to try and give us that line once more, please, because I feel like there is still a lot of value that needs to come from that course walk. But he was trying to see how and where we can talk our way through the rest of that course walk. And while we do try get him back up, We love the idea of fans traveling from all parts of the world and come to watch Longines Global Champions Tour. We've seen this in previous playoff years. We've seen this, in fact, in every single stage of an LGCT season because of the appeal, because of the riders that we have, because of the prize money, the locations, because of everything that the Longines Global Champions Tour stands for. It is a massive draw card for fans all around the world. We were able to catch up with some tourists, some fans that have traveled out here to Saudi Arabia, into the city of Riyadh, to go on and watch the wonderful spectacle that is the playoffs, to watch the LGCT Super Grand Prix. And Rosie caught up with such fans.
Yes, well, people travel from far and wide to come to these all-important playoffs, and none other than these three here, Nicole, Ruby and Riley, have travelled all the way from Australia. If you think you travelled a long way, these guys have gone a lot further. Ruby, you're a proper super fan. Why do you love this so much?
I love the atmosphere and watching all the riders jump these massive classes.
And what's inspired you? Because I know that you followed this around quite a lot.
Just seeing all the riders compete at such a high level is just so inspiring to me, and like gives me like what I want to do.
Oh, okay, so you're right. I know Riley is actually your coach as well. Do you think Ruby can be here one day?
Well, of course. I mean, we were lucky enough to go out and walk the course just now. And I mean, for a young rider to get the exposure to an event like this, I mean, it doesn't get any better. The riders here have worked all year to come and compete at this, and it's all the winners. So I hope to be on the journey with her and see her get to the top as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Ruby, who are some of your idols that you're supporting this weekend?
Well, of course, Edwina Top's Alexander, but I also love Marcus Erning, Jules Thomas, and then there's Jolly.
Just a few then, just a few smattering of them. When you're watching them in that arena, how impressive is it? Like you said, you've just walked the course. Those fences are bigger than you.
Yeah, they are.
It's amazing to be here and to see them. You've travelled all the way from Australia. Just tell people why you should travel, why you should come here, because you've gone to multiple stages as well.
Well, it's very rare to see a show like this in Australia, so it's very cool to get an exposure to a big show like this, and it's just a completely different atmosphere and everything, so it's great.
It is extraordinary. Nicole, you've been following Ruby around as well. What strikes you that is so impressive about this place?
Well, unlike most of the other shows we've been to, it's nice to go to a new culture and see some of the younger riders, because we've had some Saudi riders here that you don't get to see at the other shows, so that's been fantastic.
Well, listen, it's so great to have you all the way from down under Australia. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Guys, all the way from Australia, they've made a big effort. They've got to walk the course. They've got to be with some of the riders as well. What an experience. Back to you, Mark.
So that was a couple of fans that have now travelled all the way to Saudi to watch the GC playoffs in Riyadh, where we find ourselves, I beg your pardon, in Saudi Arabia here in the King Abdullah Financial District in Saudi. It is getting late and I'm an old man and is getting close to my bedtime. It's in fact actually well beyond my bedtime, and if there was ever a night that I am willing to push out that bedtime, it is on wonderful nights like this where we come out for the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. That in itself, Rosie, does that not talk to us about just the appeal, the reach, the desire for people from all corners of the world to not just participate and witness and watch what it is we are doing, but to quite literally get onto planes, travel from all parts to physically be here and take in this energy firsthand?
Yeah, and what was really nice earlier, which no one else would have seen apart from me, but when I asked Christian Kukuk to come back for an interview earlier on today after his little mishap in the arena, two little girls ran up to him with their caps and asked him to sign them for him, so he did. And then there are a few younger children in there walking the course, getting a minute to have a look at this course, because it's so impressive when you actually do get up to those fences. And they've all got caps on that are filled with signatures from all of the riders, and I think that's so special that you've got youngsters coming here. And like I said, I went behind the scenes earlier as well into the village. So many children here that are getting just a glimpse of these special riders, of these special horses, particularly getting to walk the course as well, because I think on TV it looks one thing, but when you get up close it's a whole different ball game. But you never know, they might just inspire one little person to want to start riding, and we might see them here one day. So absolutely. I think it's important to inspire them. I think it's important to have them here, but I just loved the fact, particularly after Christian had not had his best round, the fact that he was super happy to be there for the fans.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of those riders then that have jumped clear. We spoke about a group of 4 then finding themselves on clear going into that second round, and we will highlight those as arguably the 4 favorites then for this title. There are numbers, there are statistics that suggest that halfway lead is in the favor of Victor Bettendorf. There are statistics that suggest that no one has ever jumped a 4 in round 1 and then gone on to win. It can be clear in 4, but that fence going down in round 1 can often be a very difficult nail in the coffin to try and turn around. Let's start then with the man that everyone is talking about at the moment, Victor Bettendorf, and let's show you that round of Foxy de la Roque, jumping so superbly well. And I just reiterate how clean, how smooth, and how simple things looked for the man from Luxembourg as we see the last few moments of this round here. A lot of people have highlighted him as one of those to watch, but we thought with a Christian Kuckuck, we thought with Max Kühne, we thought with Jana Frederica Meyer, with a Gilles Thomas, etc., that there is so much experience in and around him that perhaps this was not going to be the direction. And instead, Rosie, this has proven us completely wrong. I mean, this man looks as if he has been jumping for 25 years, that he has been part of the tour for 15 years, and that jumping at a 1.65 level is something he does in the backyard every weekend.
Yeah, not just him, but his horse. Foxy's only 9 years old and is jumping this. If we actually have a look at this sheet, you know, we've got a 9-year-old who is clearly the best at the moment. Gilles Thomas is on a 10-year-old Hermitage. We've got some young horses in there who...
Casual for Peter de Vos, impressed from Thibaut Spitz.
So many
one of the comments we made to Ben about how this is an opportunity for these young riders and for their young horses to come out and perform like this.
Yeah, and you can see with Christian Kuckuck, Just Be Gentle, still young as well, only 10 years old,
True.
and did have a bit of a spook in there. I also want to mention Rockefeller going in there, and actually Eduardo Asner said to me that despite his age, he still had a little spook at that wall, and I said he's jumped that 100 times in his life. So it's just proving how special it is. He is 10 years older than some of these horses in here, and he's still spooking. So for these 9-year-olds to come in and deal with this atmosphere and deal with these jumps is so impressive. But Victor, I mean, seriously.
It looks very difficult to look beyond him. It really, really does.
Who's going to beat him?
That's it. We're focusing on these top 4 and clear. Let's continue then down that journey. One would suggest that if Victor is to be challenged, it's going to come from one of these other 3 riders that now find themselves on that clear score going into the second round. We've spoken now, and we'll talk about Gilles Thomas. We'll talk about Jana Frederica Meyer Zimmerman, and one cannot then deny Max Kühne, the 2024 LGCT season winner. Those 3 still remain on clear. Let's show you then those rounds and just bring you up to speed as to how they looked, because Max Kühne himself looked incredibly calm, much like Victor Bettendorf. Here is the season winner. Here is Max Kühne coming out on Electric Blue. And you talk about hitting your prime now with 13 years of age. Electric Blue just looks so comfortable and also looks so incredibly smooth. Max Kühne is a man that has been jumping for decades, did not seem troubled at all, and again, had no difficulty with the time. Time was a comment that Rosie made a little bit earlier on, but doing it well inside the 81 seconds that had been allowed. It's difficult as well to look beyond a season champion, because here is a man with a string of horses, but here for tonight's sake, it's Electric Blue P. Here is a man with all of the experience, a man who has jumped throughout the entire season at very tough locations, Rosie, and also been able to deal with those challenges. So maybe before we jump onto the Victor Bettendorf train, we must remind everyone that there is outstanding experience and ability that is trying to wrestle that tag away of the favorite for tonight's second round.
Yeah, particularly as he came out of the arena, that really showed his experience to me.
What a smile on the face.
Day in the office.
Exactly, I couldn't believe it.
He came out to me, and I'm lucky enough, I'm in the warm-up with them, and I'm interviewing them afterwards. He came out to me and I went, well done, Max. He went, yeah, thanks. And it was just so relaxed. It's another day in the office for him. That shows his experience as well. But Electric Blue is just, he is fantastic. That was like butter going around that course for them. It was so easy for them. Could he be the second only person ever to be the championship, to win the championship and be the Super Grand Prix winner? He'll have to, I mean, he's got Victor in front of him. This is the problem. Victor's got it to lose, but never underestimate Max Kühne and Electric Blue.
Absolutely. That double that Rosie talks about only having been done once before, and that was with Ben Mayer a few years ago as a season champion, to then come to the playoffs and go on and win the double for the year. Wouldn't that be quite a story for Max Kühne as well, if we were to round off this absolutely sensational year? Before we do get ready to go back for round 2, let's show you then those 2 remaining clears that now belong to Gilles Thomas and to Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, if we are to be ever so bold and suggest that the winner will come from those 4 riders. Messi van der Rootershoff and Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann, as we said, Gilles Thomas and Hermitage Cologne. This man jumping as if he is 40 years of age and has been on a horse in this degree, in this level for the last 2 decades. Gilles Thomas, described by so many as the absolute future of show jumping, does it every single stage for the Global Champions League for his team, has gone on to win LGCT Grand Prix, did so earlier on this year, goes on to win an LGCT Grand Prix, get his golden ticket, come to a round 1 and jump that as if he is one of the riders that, without a doubt, at least bare minimum, a rider like that, a performance like that suggests a podium. Whether he wins it or not, we don't quite know yet, Rosie, but that to me is a podium delivering mentality that I see from Gilles Thomas at the moment.
He's so wise beyond his years, and Hermitage is just super cool. And actually, Gilles Thomas described Hermitage as super cool when I spoke to him the other day about he's just relentless. He will jump anything, that horse, but it was phenomenal to watch him. And Gilles Thomas has got such a cool head on him to go in there like that. He's still a young rider. I mean, look at the list.
26 years of age.
And look at the list of people that he's up against, and he goes in there like it's a 2'6" round when he was little again. But it's phenomenal to watch him, and the way he went in there with such a strong head. I mean, he definitely deserves a podium.
I think about, and whilst we show you the round of Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann going first today on Messi van der Rootershoff, I think about the comment that was made to us yesterday by Geert Gulliksen for the Scandinavian Vikings in the GCL Super Cup semi-final. We always ask these riders, these combinations, how does it feel to go first? And the comment made by Geert Gulliksen was that sometimes first is not a bad idea because there's no one to have gone before you to mess with your plan. So, drawn by computer, of course, Jana Frederica Meyer-Zimmermann was given the first position, and she came out as if she has watched this round 10 times over, had picked up all of the errors, knew where the areas of concern were. And again, we've talked about Messi so many times. And Rosie, before we close and before we say goodbye, Messi has that experience, still only 12 years of age, but jumps superbly. We know that Jana is also a born winner, and nothing should be stopping us from saying that she, in fact, could take this all away from everyone and be crowned champion later on tonight too.
Yeah, and Jana said to me after her round, actually, I questioned that, well, how tough was it to go in there first tonight? Because you don't get to watch anyone. And she said, yep, when I saw the draw, and I can't repeat what she said, when I saw the draw...
There may have been a few expletives used, but that was the passion and energy from Jana.
But then she pulled herself together, she said, and she got on with it. And actually, in a way, like you said, that actually when you go in there and you don't have any distraction from what any other rider has done. And she then said in the last jump, she really had to take a flyer. She really pushed Messi into that fence. And she kind of talks with this communication with her horse as well, as if they're chatting the whole way around. And she said, go on, Messi. And Messi just had to fly. And boy, did he fly.
How the gelding responds is just unbelievable. We will have the winner of tonight's Super Grand Prix in the studio later on tonight. If you want to send your question through to us, if you want your thoughts to be included in the GCTV live studio, feel free to reach out to us on social media. We will sift through the questions. The social media team is on site. They are there in the media center. They are going through your questions at Longines Global Champions Tour. We will go through the best. We will select the best. And hopefully your question can be one of those that is asked to the winner of tonight's Super Grand Prix. That now will be decided probably in the next 40-odd minutes or so. We will have a champion of the Super Grand Prix. Rosie, we'll let you get back into the warm-up. You have riders to interview. We have a second round to show you. Stay with us here on GCTV. A lot of the action still to come. We are live from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. This is round 2. Let's go and join the action up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. It is round 2 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in the King Abdullah Financial district. We are minutes away from the start of the second round, and what a first round it has been. What a shake-up we have seen. Some interesting results, some surprises, some favorites who dropped out, some outsiders who really put their foot down, and 4 that have jumped clear to take on this final round. Don't get me wrong, it's not 4 in this second round. All riders come back with their results from the first round, as this is a 2-round competition. Penalties from round 1 and round 2 are added up together, and in case of a tie on penalties, then the time of this second round will be the decider. In a night full of stars, as Coldplay plays through the speakers, they'll be aiming at the stars and at the 1.25 million that is in the prize pot, and that is to be divided over the riders in these 2 rounds of jumping. Maybe it's time to have a look at the highlights. What happened actually in that round 1? Who did well? Who did disappoint? Let's have a look. Here is Michael Duffy, early to go on Quirex, who hadn't jumped a meter 60 Grand Prix in 6 years. Only Rabat he did, and then came cold into this Super Grand Prix. Finished on clear, but was not inside the time allowed, and there he realizes that he missed out on a unique occasion, but 2 time penalties for him. Look at that, just be gentle with the Olympic champion. The run out to the vertical, and he really had to put in everything he had inside of him to keep just be gentle going and to jump that wide rails. Edu Asdar, at this point, that was fence 2, that was fence 3. The 19-year-old Rocky had a look at the wall and a brick out of the wall as well. Pink Floyd could not have said it any better. With Katanga van het Dingeshof, this man is always one to watch, but a serious mistake is what you could call it. In the first line, straight away dashed the dreams of Nicola Philippaerts and Katanga van het Dingeshof. Kuhner with Electric Blue P, the highest rated horse in this competition. It was perfect. It was just spot on perfect. How we did it, the way they did it, the ease that they did it with. It was the perfectly executed round, and there were a few more like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, what a round was that from Foxy de la Roque and Victor Bettendorf. Not only does she go clear in what is just her 6th Grand Prix at this level, she was also the fastest, and that means that Foxy is in pole position and have the best cards in their hands to go for the jackpot here in this Super Grand Prix. Pole position and last to go with 4 riders on clear at this point. These are the standings. Bettendorf clear, Kuhner clear, Janne Meyer clear, and Gilles Thomas clear. 2 time penalties, and in 5th is Michael Duffy. And then a whole list on 4 penalties. The fast Lorenzo De Luca, then De Vos, then Said, then Asnar, Philippaerts, Spitz, and Johan Sebastian Gulliksen. On 8, Philippaerts and Koekoek, that's Nicola Philippaerts. On 10 is Ines Joly. The starting order of this second round is, of course, the reverse of this result list of the first round that you know already if you've been a regular. Maybe you've watched all 5 of those previous Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix held in Prague. Then you know that we were in the O2 Arena, indoors, in floodlight, of course. Here we've got floodlight as well, but we are jumping outdoors as well for this second round. Starts at a single standing vertical of the Longines Global Champions Tour, and then it's actually a long gallop to the Rijal Alma fence. That Oxer, very square Oxer, a first turn back. Why is it highlighted? This is where you can win time should it be necessary. You jump that vertical, meter 65 tall, and then it says 6 here on this plan, on this 3D. I feel as if I walk 7. Now that I see it live, maybe it is 6 indeed. 6 into the combination. Oxer not overly tall, but it is the vertical that really is going to be a hindrance to plenty of riders. Deep into the corner, there's actually an option to go inside if you want to speed up and make some time, because the timing in this second round is going to be decisive. This is the outside bend around fence 1. Leads you to a chunky oxer, and then you have to kind of jump to the outside and get a small jump because the 5 are very, very short to the Liverpool and only 3 rails in that upright. It's not over. Then it's 9 strides to the blue oxer by the ingate. It's actually a skinny oxer, mind a toe on the back rail, and another 9 into the triple combination of vertical oxer and then 2 strides for the final vertical. Of course, in Longines, the title partner of this Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix that features the 15 best riders of every stage throughout the regular season of 2024. Are we done at 8A, B and C? Of course we're not. We have a long gallop from the triple. You have to go inside, I think, in front of that fence 1 to make your way over to fence 10. 10 Liverpool Oxer, then it is 8 strides to the upright of the skyline of the King Abdullah Financial District over to fence 11. That is a very delicate fence, black rails, and then a very short 7 strides to the Saudi Arabian Equestrian Federation Oxer that stands by hospitality. If I have it right, the time allowed would be set on 82 seconds. 82 seconds is the time allowed. That is 1 second more than what we saw in the first round. But I don't have the length yet of this course, and to see if Juliana Vizzani has cut them a little bit more slack, or if the course is in fact just longer than it was in the first round of this Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. This is the starting order. It is first to go Ines Joly on 10 penalties with Ambassador Z. She goes first with the higher score from the first round. Then it is Christian Kukuk with Just Be Gentle. That is a surprise for them to come so early. Can they claw their way back? Can they make their way up on the leaderboard? Philippaerts also on 8 with Katanga van het Dingeshof. Johan Sebastian Gulliksen then goes next. He is on Harwich VDL, where Emma Brenner has been taking care of Harwich over the last days here in the Saudi capital. Belgium's Thibaut Spitz had an unlucky fault at the wall at 3 now with Impress Keverat Kattenheijen is going to try to improve on that result. This is the second man on 4 penalties, as was Johan Sebastian Gulliksen. Same score for Olivier Philippaerts with H&M Miro. Then from Spain, halfway through, from Spain with Rockefeller de Pleville Pomargo, just like Thibaut Spitz, a toe at the wall, a block out of the wall, a brick out of the wall for Eduardo Alvarez Aznar. Abdel Said jumped a very good first round, had a fault at the plank on the 8 strides, now with the 4 penalties counting in this second round on Bonami. Also 4 for the last 2 riders on a fast 4, De Vos with casual, and then Lorenzo De Luca with Denver de Dalma also on a very fast 4 penalties, fault on the wide rails in the first round, if you remember, the vertical deep into the corner. Duffy sits in no man's land on 2 time penalties with the fantastic Quirex. Then we go into the clears. 4 left to go. Starts on clear. Gilles Thomas with Hermitage Cologne. Will he settle for the podium and aim for double clear, or will he pick up the pace and try to put the others under pressure? The others, that's Janne Frederike Meyer-Zimmermann with Messi van der Ruitershof, was first to go in the first round, 3rd last in this second round. 2nd last, the champion of 2024, Max Kuder with Electric Blue. And then it is the outsider, and now all of a sudden the odds-on favorite, Victor Betadorf with Foxy de la Roque, with maybe a lack of experience, but so much pace, so much competitiveness, and so much drive between the 2 of them. Such a good understanding. They have nothing to lose, yet everything to win. Here we go with the second round of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as the gates open for Ambassador and for Ines Joly. It was not the easiest round for Ines Joly in round one of the Super Grand Prix. Added 2 time penalties to her score after 2 fences. 2 fences down. In the beginning, she struggled to find the rhythm. If she can find that rhythm now again, that should help. Luis Felipe de Azevedo in the background. Bruno Mateus here in front. Jolie, and a great looking Ambassador Z. First line really gives her the chance to catch the rhythm on 11 strides, gets the rhythm. Now the 6 tall vertical in the beginning of the line, tall vertical to come out of the line. Goes round fence 1, stays in front of that Longines the time beam. Now the short 5. And you want to get deep to the oxo to get the smallest possible jump. She was a touch too deep. And so from 10 now the score up to 14. That's round 1 and round 2 penalties added together. Good entry into the combination, a touch fast maybe. Goes around the first fence. Time allowed is 82 seconds. There's one more loop to be made. Has him on 8 to the plank. Comes inside. Oh, beautiful small jump. And so the 7 should work. And they do work. Beautiful small jump over that second to last vertical. And that gave her the room to make the 7 strides. She finishes in 80.39 seconds with a time allowed of 82. That is Ines Jolie, Ambassador Z. 18 penalties, 2 good rounds. Can build on this biggest class she ever jumped in her life, in her career. And keep in mind that she never ever jumped a meter 60 class until this year.
An outstanding performance from Ines Jolie this season to get that golden ticket. And here she is rubbing shoulders with the best riders in the world in a Super Grand Prix. And she and Ambassador finish on 18 penalties. If you want to watch, and I encourage you to please, trust me, hear me out when I say this, I need you to sign up for this pass to watch what is coming over the next 30 to 40 minutes, because this is going to be a earth-shatteringly brilliant round. Please come and join us for the second round of the Super Grand Prix. Christian Kuckuck is next. Get it with your GCTV pass.